Okay, so you want to own a water park. Buy a large piece of land, build a few giant water slides, dig a massive wave pool, add a lazy river, fill everything with millions of gallons of water. Open the front gates, then watch thousands of families pour through the entrance every hot summer weekend. From the outside, it looks like one of the easiest entertainment businesses you could ever own. The parking lot is full. The ticket booths never seem to stop. Children race toward the wave pool. Parents rent lockers. Friends line up for the tallest slides. Everyone buys lunch. Everyone buys drinks. Everyone leaves carrying memories. It almost feels like a business that prints money. After all, every slide can be used again. The lazy river never runs out of guests. The wave pool keeps generating excitement every few minutes. Parking spaces fill themselves. Food stands stay busy all afternoon. Gift shops welcome visitors until closing time. So how could a water park ever struggle? The reality is far more complicated, because everything guests see is only the surface. Hidden underneath every water park is one of the most expensive engineering systems in the entertainment industry, before the first family ever buys a ticket, before the first child rides a water slide, before the first wave crashes across the pool. Millions of dollars have already disappeared. The business isn't built on water. It's built on engineering, finance, infrastructure, safety, hospitality, tourism, and one enormous financial gamble. By the end of this documentary, you'll understand exactly how water parks actually make money. We'll break down the enormous startup investment. Discover why location determines whether a park succeeds before construction even begins. Explore the hidden infrastructure that guests never see. Learn why millions of gallons of water quietly become one of the park's biggest operating expenses. See how electricity, filtration systems, chemical treatment, and hydraulic engineering operate every hour of every day. Discover why food, lockers, parking, season passes, and cabana rentals often generate higher profit margins than the slides themselves. And finally, calculate where the money actually goes after payroll, maintenance, insurance, utilities, debt payments, and constant reinvestment consume most of the revenue. Because water parks don't simply sell water slides, they sell unforgettable summer experiences. The attractions bring people through the gate. The business begins after they walk inside. So where does every successful water park actually begin? Not with a slide, not with a wave pool, not with a lazy river. It begins with land, because the most important decision any owner makes happens years before opening day. Choose the wrong location, and the business may never recover. Build too far from major population centers, and families won't make the drive. Build inside an expensive urban area, and land prices may consume your entire budget before construction even starts. The ideal location sits close enough to millions of potential visitors while leaving enough room for future expansion. That's why developers spend years studying traffic patterns, population growth, tourism trends, road access, environmental regulations, and future real estate development before buying a single acre. Then comes another enormous investment: preparing the land itself. Trees must be cleared. The ground must be leveled. Engineers stabilize the soil. Massive foundations are poured. Underground drainage systems are installed. Roads are built. Parking lots are paved. Utility lines stretch across the entire property. Months quietly become years. Guests haven't arrived. Revenue hasn't started. Yet tens of millions of dollars have already been spent. Then come the attractions everyone recognizes: the giant water slides, the towering slide complexes, the wave pools, the lazy rivers. They may look simple. They're anything but. A single signature attraction can cost several $1 million before the first rider climbs the stairs. The wave pool alone requires enormous reinforced concrete structures. Powerful wave-generating machinery, advanced control systems, industrial pumps, and precise engineering capable of moving millions of gallons of water safely every single day. Even the lazy river, one of the calmest attractions in the entire park, requires miles of underground piping, high-capacity circulation pumps, concrete channels, filtration equipment, and continuous water movement that never truly stops. But the biggest investment isn't the slides, it's everything hidden beneath your feet. Under every pathway lies a network of massive underground pipes connecting every attraction to the park's mechanical heart. Guests never see it, but owners think about it every single day, because a commercial water park isn't simply an entertainment venue. It's a giant water processing facility that also happens to have water slides. Millions of gallons of water circulate through industrial filtration systems, chemical treatment equipment, automated monitoring technology, surge tanks, pressure pumps, and hydraulic networks operating around the clock. The pumps don't stop when the park closes. The filtration systems don't sleep overnight. The water continues moving, because the moment circulation stops, water quality begins to deteriorate, and that creates far more than an operational problem. It creates a public health risk. That's why the hidden mechanical infrastructure quietly becomes one of the most expensive assets the entire business owns. Then comes something that surprises almost everyone: the water itself. Most people assume the park fills its pools once and simply reuses the same water forever. It doesn't. Every day, thousands of gallons disappear. Some evaporate under the summer sun. Some splash onto the walkways. Some are lost during filtration cleaning cycles. Every gallon must be replaced. Every replacement costs money. Then the water must be tested, filtered, balanced, disinfected, and monitored throughout the entire operating day. Because one failed water quality inspection can force major attractions to close immediately. Imagine a family driving 2 hours to visit your park, paying hundreds of dollars for tickets. Walking through the entrance, only to discover the wave pool is closed. That's not simply a disappointed customer, that's lost trust, lost revenue, and potentially thousands of future visitors choosing another destination instead. And we've only reached the water. We haven't even talked about electricity, payroll, insurance, safety, or how this business actually makes money. That's where the real economics of owning a water park finally begin. So, once the gates finally open, how does a water park actually make money? Most people think the answer is simple. Sell tickets, fill the park. End of story, but admission is only the beginning, because the moment guests walk through the entrance, an entirely different business begins. The goal isn't simply to sell a day of fun, it's to maximize the value of every visitor. Let's start with the revenue stream everyone notices first. Admission tickets. Every guest pays to enter, but not every guest pays the same price. Successful water parks rarely use one fixed ticket price. Instead, they adjust prices based on demand. A busy Saturday in July costs more than a quiet weekday in May. Holiday weekends command premium pricing. Advance online bookings often receive discounts. Group packages encourage schools and companies to visit together. Season passes reward loyal customers while guaranteeing revenue before summer even begins. One pricing strategy quietly serves several different markets at once. Families, tourists, school trips, corporate outings, travel groups, local residents. Every available ticket becomes another opportunity to maximize revenue. Then comes something many visitors barely notice: parking. The moment a family's car enters the property, another transaction begins. Thousands of vehicles may arrive during a busy weekend. Even a modest parking fee multiplied across an entire summer becomes millions of dollars. Some parks go even further. Premium parking, reserved spaces, VIP entrances. Again, they aren't selling asphalt, they're selling convenience. Next come lockers. Almost nobody wants to carry phones, wallets, towels, backpacks, and shoes around an entire water park. Lockers solve that problem. A locker costs very little to operate after installation, yet it's rented hundreds of times every season. The result is another high-margin revenue stream quietly generating income all day. Then there are cabanas. This is where water parks begin selling comfort instead of admission. Families rent private shaded spaces, comfortable seating, personal service, dedicated storage, food delivery, sometimes even private televisions and refrigerators. The attraction hasn't changed. The experience has. A family willing to spend several $100s for comfort can become far more valuable than several ordinary ticket holders. Then comes food and beverages, one of the most profitable businesses inside the entire park. Think about how long guests stay. Unlike a movie theater, families often spend 6 to 8 hours inside a water park. Children become hungry, parents buy lunch. Teenagers order snacks. Everyone wants cold drinks under the summer sun. Pizza, burgers, ice cream, soft drinks, fresh lemonade, coffee. Every meal becomes another revenue opportunity. The ingredients often cost only a fraction of the final selling price, which means food frequently produces much higher profit margins than admission tickets themselves. Then comes merchandise. Guests arrive wearing ordinary clothes, but many leave carrying branded towels, swimwear, water toys, sunglasses, souvenir cups, photographs, and gifts for family members back home, just like amusement parks. Water parks don't sell products, they sell memories. Every souvenir helps visitors take a small piece of their experience home. Photography creates another surprisingly profitable business. Automatic cameras capture guests racing down giant slides, splashing into pools, laughing with family, crossing the finish line together. By the time visitors leave, those photographs have become emotional purchases rather than ordinary pictures. Technology has transformed the business as well. Modern mobile apps allow guests to purchase tickets, reserve cabanas, order food, navigate the park, upgrade experiences, and pay instantly without standing in long queues. The smartphone quietly becomes another sales platform operating throughout the entire visit. Then there are season passes, one of the smartest business decisions many parks ever made. Instead of convincing a guest to visit once, the goal becomes encouraging them to return again and again. Every additional visit increases the likelihood of buying more food, more drinks, more merchandise, more locker rentals, and more premium experiences. Loyal customers often become the park's most valuable asset. Group bookings create another reliable income stream. Schools, summer camps, sports clubs, corporate teams, community organizations. Entire groups arrive together during weekdays when attendance might otherwise be lower. That helps smooth revenue throughout the week instead of depending entirely on weekends. Some parks go even further. They partner with nearby hotels, travel agencies, tour operators, and vacation packages. Instead of selling one admission ticket, they're selling an entire holiday experience. That's exactly what companies like Great Wolf Lodge perfected. The water park becomes only one part of a much larger hospitality business. Hotels, restaurants, arcades, retail stores, entertainment. Everything works together inside one ecosystem. The longer guests stay, the more money remains inside the business. That's the real secret behind successful water parks. They don't simply measure attendance, they measure spending per guest, because two parks with the same number of visitors can produce completely different profits. The park that creates more opportunities for every family to spend throughout the day almost always wins, but despite all these revenue streams, every dollar earned comes with enormous costs, because behind every thrilling slide, every wave pool, every lazy river, and every smiling lifeguard operates one of the most expensive seasonal businesses in the entertainment industry, which raises the biggest question of all. After paying for electricity, water treatment, payroll, insurance, maintenance, chemicals, safety inspections, and constant repairs, how much money does a water park actually keep? That's where the real economics of owning a water park become even more fascinating. But none of those revenue streams guarantee success, because water parks operate under one of the toughest financial models in the entertainment industry. Their biggest expenses never stop, whether the park welcomes 15,000 visitors or heavy rain keeps almost everyone at home. The bills continue. Electricity keeps flowing, water keeps circulating, employees still receive their salaries, insurance premiums remain, loan payments never disappear, and every mechanical system continues aging. That's because a water park never truly sleeps, even after the guests leave. Industrial pumps continue moving millions of gallons of water. Filtration systems continue cleaning every pool. Chemical treatment equipment constantly balances water quality. Automatic monitoring systems continue checking safety levels. The attractions may close, but the infrastructure never does. Then comes maintenance. Every water slide must be inspected. Every wave generator must be tested. Every pump must be serviced. Every filtration system must be cleaned. Every safety barrier must be checked. Because one mechanical failure isn't just an expensive repair. It can close an entire attraction, disappoint thousands of guests, and damage the park's reputation overnight. That's why successful operators spend millions on preventive maintenance every single year. Fixing equipment before it fails is almost always cheaper than dealing with an emergency during the busiest weekend of summer. Then comes another challenge: reinvestment. Many first-time owners believe construction is the biggest expense. In reality, construction is only the beginning. Every year, slides become older, paint fades, concrete slowly wears down, technology becomes outdated. Guests notice every small detail. That's why successful parks never stop improving. One year they renovate restaurants, the next they modernize changing rooms. Then they expand children's play areas. Later they introduce a record-breaking water slide. Every improvement costs money, but every improvement gives families another reason to return. Then comes marketing. Building a beautiful water park doesn't guarantee visitors. People have to know it exists. Successful parks spend millions advertising across television, social media, travel websites, tourism campaigns, hotels, schools, and local businesses. Some even partner with airlines and vacation companies. Because an empty water park is one of the most expensive sites in the entertainment industry, another hidden expense is regulation. Water quality must be tested throughout the day. Chemical levels are constantly monitored. Health inspectors perform regular checks. Lifeguards complete ongoing training. Emergency equipment must always remain ready. Every rule exists for one reason: protecting guests. But compliance also costs money. Then comes sustainability. Modern parks work hard to reduce electricity consumption, recycle more water, install energy-efficient pumps, use smart monitoring systems, and even generate renewable energy through solar power. These upgrades require major investment today, but they reduce operating costs for many years. Technology is transforming the industry as well. Mobile apps allow guests to purchase tickets, reserve lockers, order food, book cabanas, navigate the park, and pay without carrying cash. Behind the scenes, artificial intelligence helps operators predict attendance, schedule employees, monitor attractions, and improve guest experiences. Every improvement creates a more efficient business. Then comes one number every successful owner watches more closely than attendance: guest satisfaction. Because a happy family returns next summer, brings friends, leaves positive reviews, shares photos online, and becomes free marketing for years. One unforgettable visit creates loyal customers. One disappointing experience can lose them forever. That's why the world's best water parks don't compete only with bigger slides. They compete through better experiences, cleaner facilities, friendlier employees, shorter waiting times, better food, safer attractions, comfortable seating, beautiful landscaping. Everything matters because guests remember how the park made them feel, not simply how tall the slides were. Competition has also become much tougher. Families today have more choices than ever before. Theme parks, indoor water parks, beach resorts, cruise vacations, adventure parks, even backyard swimming pools compete for the same entertainment budget. Winning customers now requires far more than building the tallest slide. It requires creating an experience people cannot find anywhere else. So what does the financial picture actually look like? A successful regional water park can generate tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. The largest destination resorts generate far more, but revenue is never the same as profit. After payroll, electricity, water treatment, chemicals, insurance, maintenance, marketing taxes, debt payments, safety inspections, and continuous reinvestment, only a small portion remains. That's why one rainy season, one major equipment failure, or one serious safety incident can completely change the financial outcome of an entire year. The difference between a profitable season and a losing season may only be a few weekends of bad weather. That's exactly why companies like Great Wolf Lodge built a different business model. Instead of depending entirely on summer, they built indoor water park resorts operating every day of the year. Hotels generate predictable income. Restaurants continue serving guests. Indoor attractions remain open regardless of rain or snow. The water park becomes the reason families book an entire vacation instead of just a single day. It's a completely different financial model, and one that has proven far more resilient. So, is owning a water park actually a great business? The answer depends on what you think you're buying. If you believe you're buying water slides, you're making a very expensive mistake. But if you understand you're building an engineering company, hospitality business, a tourism destination, a food service operation, a retail business, and a family entertainment experience all at the same time, the economics begin making much more sense. Because families don't visit a water park simply to get wet. They come to celebrate birthdays, escape the summer heat, spend time together, create lifelong memories, and enjoy experiences they can't recreate at home. The slides attract visitors. The experience keeps them there. But the business succeeds by turning every visit into lasting value. That's the real secret behind water parks. They don't simply sell water slides, they sell unforgettable summer experiences. And every ticket, every meal, every locker rental, every cabana, every season pass, and every returning family quietly transforms millions of gallons of water into one of the most sophisticated entertainment businesses in the world. Because the economics of owning a water park have never really been about water. They've always been about creating experiences people are happy to pay for. And once you understand that, you'll never look at a water park the same way again.